My name is Ambition the Poet. Y'all know what I do, but today we're not here for that. We here for an author named Gloria Bonilla Santiago. Guys, the name of the book is The Miracle on Cooper Street. If you know anything about Camden, the state of Camden, been through a lot. But she is the founder of Leap Academy, which is an amazing school. Guys, let's just get straight into it. This is an important story because I want to really highlight how you could come from such a dire circumstance and become impactful in your community. But this is great. This is great. So my father has given me the job as a navigator because I have learned English faster than anyone in our family since we migrated from Puerto Rico to work in the big agribusiness farms of New Jersey and Florida. Then she goes on, she says, we make this trip twice a year according to the picking season for crops. We spend March to September in New Jersey and September to March in Florida. Now, at this time in her childhood, she is a child of a migrant worker. Alright? Now, how did a child of a migrant worker, end up making one of the most successful schools in Camden today? It's an amazing story. And attend my graduate courses at Rutgers. I have always been driven to apply what I learned to build a successful career for myself, but to find a social purpose and meaning in my work. So it was not long before I wanted to take my counseling job at Rutgers a step further. So she says, look, my experience in theater playing Mariana Bressetti, the Puerto Rican independence heroine, had been extremely positive and empowering for me. So she says, I decided to form a street theater group in Camden to perform at night. Now, when she does this, she meets a guy named Justo, a young teenager who's great at acting, and he ends up getting murdered. And this is what happens. She says, so she felt distraught and heartbroken. I considered giving up my community work and finding something else to do with my life. After all, if a kid like Justo could be cut down so tragically, what was the use? She said this, it was at my darkest moment that I experienced one of the biggest turning points in my life and career. As I fled Camden on the speed line, a stranger on the train saw me crying and asked if I was alright. She says, I guess I really need someone to talk to. And despite my characteristically independent and self-sufficient manner, I began telling him my story, and that's how I met Sidney Katz. She says, Sidney and I could not be more different, at least outwardly. She says he was a chemist, a biologist, a dean of the College of Arts and Science at Rutgers University in Camden. After hearing about the work I had been doing with Camden's youth and how it ended with Justo's death, he suggested there was a different way I could bring about the kind of sweeping social change I so desperately wanted, a career in academia. He gave me his card and encouraged me to apply for a counseling job at Rutgers Camden Administration, offering to help to get my foot in the door with the interview. And this is how it really changed. And it's funny how we're in our darkest moments and then we meet somebody at that darkest moment that's going to change. Now this is dope. Now she's trying to get the funding, the plans to be accepted by the Rutgers board. And she knows deep down inside that they don't even believe that she can get it done. I just want to give a few things. I don't want to give this whole story away because you got to read it for yourself because this book is so good. But I just want to show you how to hustle. When you want to build something great, I know you see Leap today. If you look at Leap today, it's a nice building and all that. But let me just give you what it started off as. She says right here, Leap opened its doors on schedule in September 1997 as she got it done. She says, its first classrooms were in trailers, guys. She started off her school in trailers. She says, acquired with Prudential Foundation grant. She had to get a grant on a vacant lot near the Rutgers Camden campus while I waited to lease or build a new building on Cooper Street. This is hustle, guys. She says, we began with a pre-K to 3rd grade. Now, right now, it's from K to 12. She only started off from K to 3rd grade. She says, we began the pre-K to 3rd grade class with 300 students selected through a lottery to allow for equality and diversity. We had an additional 500 parents on a waiting list hoping for opportunities for the children to attend Leap. Guys, I want you to read this book so you can really get the details behind the scenes on how this happened. This is Gloria Bonilla.